Hi everyone, and welcome to Metal Detecting History. We're going to be going on a very interesting hunt today. We're going to be going to a Russian River resort town known as Rio Nido, R-I-O-N-I-D-O. Kind of a strange name, but a really cool place in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. Was super popular with people coming up from San Francisco for recreation in the summertime, and people from Santa Rosa and the surrounding community. Now you might say, why would people come up? You know, you got beaches in San Francisco, you can't swim on them. The Pacific Ocean is just simply too cold year round. So people came up to the Russian River, and one of the cool places they came to that was huge was Rio Nido. And I'm looking at a map here. I'm showing you a map here now to get your bearings. Here's the town of Santa Rosa over here where I live. And if we back it out more, you can see Santa Rosa's up here, and here's San Francisco. It's almost due south. It's about 50 miles here. And this was, people used to take the ferry boat over with their cars and stuff and then drive up to what they called the Redwood Empire here, where all the huge redwood trees are. And one of the places that they loved to come was the town of Rio Nido. And in its day, Rio Nido was absolutely huge. You can see it's laid out. There's houses, cabins, and things like that. If you look at it from the satellite view today, you can see it's a lot of green in there. There's a hotel that has a swimming pool, and there's the Russian River going along here. And in its heyday, I want to tell you, it was huge. How huge was it? Well, let's take a look here. In its heyday, it was typical in the 20s and 30s that every village along the river had dance bands, but Rio Nidos were huge. It had a dance hall, and even people like Ozzie Nelson of Ozzie and Harriet fame, and even later the Grateful Dead, but Phil Harris, Harry James, Woody Herman. I mean, these places had, in the summertime, had tens of thousands of people coming in on for dances and things. And just to show you how popular the river was, you can see now Rio Nido's up here on the cliff, and there was a footbridge that even Bobby remembers going out across the Russian River, and you would use the beach on the other side there. Well, it's going to look remarkably different today, I can assure you of that. And just to show you how popular it was too, you can see in this 1950s, you can see what looks like a 57 Thunderbird pulling out. You can see there was a lot of cars in there and a lot of people in there. So it was a site that was really heavily used. It had bowling alleys, you can see in there. It had a dance hall under the stars. It had a shooting gallery. It just had a ton of different stuff. And the guy that really helped put it on the map was a guy named Froelich, who started Froelich Realty Company. And I guess you can see all the lots that he laid out. And we'll see if his building is still there today. The sales office down there. But what we're particularly interested in, we'll enlarge this a little bit, is this area in here. Is the hotel still standing today? I don't know. I haven't been to Rio Nido. I've gone up River Road many times, but haven't popped in. But here's where, like the concession areas, where there's this big area here, basically four-sided, where all the action was. The dance hall, the concessions, the bowling alley, the shooting galleries, the gaming hall, all kinds of things. And we want to see if we can get how we do in terms of coin hunting in this particular area. I think it's going to be a blast. Now, I'm not naive enough to think it hasn't been hunted before, but I'm pretty sure it has. I mean, there were a lot, you know, in a place where there were tens of thousands of people in summertime, it's almost inevitable. You know, when the population, the total number of people visiting in a season might go up around 250,000 people, and it's a longer season here from from say April through even October and November. So, all right, we'll see you on the way up to Rio Nido. It's going to be a fun hunt. Let's see if we can metal detect some history, see a little history today, and then maybe get a good find or two.
As we roll out River Road through the wine country, some of the hoity-toity little farms here and things. Get a little scenery on the way out today. And pretty soon we'll be hitting the redwoods. It'll look like we're going into the witch's forest in there. It's dark. Jen's always got this thing about Planet of the Apes and Caesar. We went across the Golden Gate Bridge to the redwoods, so hopefully we won't see any of them today.
I love
Caesar.
Caesar.
Speak to Caesar.
I'm his biggest fan.
Okay guys, we've arrived in Rio Nido, and it's a big loop that goes around the property. And as I pan left here, you'll be able to see some of the private chalets, but in the very back you'll see a grouping back there that looks like a Swiss kind of style construction. And that used to be the old hotel here, and this used to be all parking. And this, where the roadhouse is the site where they used to have the dance hall and the bandstand and all that. You can see these towering redwoods above me easily go about 250 feet or so. So we're gonna break out the detectors and start getting going. I don't think anybody's gonna bother us here today. I mean, there's a basketball court. Obviously, it's seen better days here, and it's certainly not a regulation size court. You could barely, it's 2 steps to run from one end to the other, but you can see it's really old school. So we're going to detect around. I think that's the old post office building there. So well, we're going to check it out today and see what we get. Okay, we're in the grove now, and there's our first find. It's just a regular
Well, that's the second.
Second find. Yeah, I don't know what this first thing. It's kind of too skinny to be a penny. We'll clean that. It might be a dance hall token. I'm not sure. So, you know, sometimes you had to buy a token to dance with a girl. So we'll see. Okay, I'm keeping my voices down, guys. But guess what? We just dug a 1919S Mercury dime out here, out in the middle of this place. So we know, number one, it probably hasn't been detected a lot. And the pay zone here was 4.5 to 5 inches, which would be perfect because that's about 60, 70 years, 80 years of soil. So that is exciting. That's amazing. We're going to bring it home today. I think we might be in a hell of a good spot here. We might be here a lot. I'm going to pass that to Missy Jenn now. And the amazing thing about this thing, this silver is in good shape, and 1919S is another kick-ass year. Okay, stay with us. Are you happy? Huh?
Yeah.
There we go. We hit stuff at 4.5. We're going to be pulling up good shite here. Got to keep it down though. This is the kind of area of hippies and shit where people don't like you digging in the soil and all that, so we're going to keep it real. All right, well, we didn't do much more over there. Some people came out to talk to us. They were friendly. You can see the walkthrough that goes underneath of the road there. It goes down to the beach on the Russian River, and that's for another time. For that's all overgrown. We want to try to stick with the prize in here today and see. I might just run around that tree over there, that tree stand. So yeah, well, we had that good initial success which whetted our appetite, but for the last hour we've been hitting just some modern stuff. So we're going to keep smiling. In a little bit I'm going to turn the detector over to Missy Jenn and let her get her licks in here. All right. Jawohl, we'll probably find them too. So we came into the place, and now we're really starting to get the lay of what's going on here, because When we rolled in this weird basketball court, I mean, I shouldn't say they made a basketball court, they put in a few of those nets. But when we start studying it, this looked like the foundation for what used to be the concession stand for the snack bar and stuff. So, you know, it's an area that's difficult to work, but that's the area you got to detect all around where the snack bar is and stuff. So we're starting to get the layout. So Jen and I are going to move back to the area where we started and we had some success, and see if we can start pushing out from there. So
Because Chester pulled out 2 rings out there. So
yeah, Chester got 2 rings out of there, and
we'll just
you know,
might
so
as well try to
there's more silver to be had here for sure. Jen knows it and I know it. So all right. Okay, so I'm going to put the detector over to her once we get over there. There's our second. We've gotten coins today, but a lot of schmutz too. This is our first Wheatie we've gotten out of here in 1944. And we seem to be having a lot of success in this particular area around here, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Are you smiling? You got your second. There it is. All right. Alright guys, it's a real freaking spook show back in these woods. We're behind the old hotel here, and I'll tell you, you can see some of the, you can pardon my camera work, you can see some of the massive size of some of these trunks of these old redwood trees. This thing's got to be about 30 feet in circumference here. I mean, if I was standing next to that, I'd go up about half the height. So I don't know what's going on here. So I think I'll just pop over to the left here, and then we'll go behind and head out of here.
Trespassing not allowed.
Yeah, I don't know. Jen says those signs don't apply if you're from Germany. So tell them you just didn't understand in German.
Was ist los?
Yeah, it's just lost, you
Ich
know.
hab nichts verstanden.
Yeah, you just, you know, tell them that it broke your heart, you know, that you can't metal detect.
Private property, notas.
Yeah, make that like it broke your heart.
No, understand.
So, because, you know, she speaks German and I don't read English, so we're just cruising through here. All right, well, this must be the private property part of it in here.
My Großpapa.
I don't know. But we're going to just shoot around here until somebody throws us out.
My Großpapa used to come here long.
Yeah, I think I just...
years back.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave the, you see the Missy detecting back here. I'm going to now go across the street. They have like a tunnel that goes underneath the road to keep people off of River Road there, and check out what the beach area looks like. So I'm letting Jen schmutz away here. So, you know, it's been pretty cool. You know, the worst thing that happens in a hunt is like you hit that hot coin right off the bat, like that 1919 S Mercury dime, and then that's like it, except for the 44. We got a 1944 Wheatie. So but we decided to come back to the area where we were having all the success here. So we're gonna walk our way across the underneath the roadway here. You know, so okay, I'll let you guys turn it back on again when we reach this is the way that people would have crossed. We're still in the property here, the old road here. They would have gone down to the beach area here. So we'll check it out. Go down here and take a look. And we're talking about days when thousands of people streamed through this or the old tunnel. Somebody left a chair for us down here. How nice. Oh, this goes right down to the swimming hole down there. And yeah, see all the rocks and stuff. Yeah, and there's the Russian River, and across the beach there, it's gonna be real slippery going down there. But all this used to be gone And all this used to be sand. There were none of these trees and stuff here. This is all young growth. And I know you guys were saying, well, go down there and get a little closer look. Okay, I'll look down here. But this is where we want to kind of run the detector next time, because there was a ton of foot traffic coming through here. And believe it or not, Bobby, my pal Bobby, I call him my boyfriend, and here we are. He said, actually, I mean, when you saw the pictures of how many people were on these beaches and stuff, there's really not much left anymore in the way of beaches. But across the river there, he said that's where people used to be like crazy, on the beach across there. And there used to be a footbridge that went across there. So this would be a good place. You can see what the hell's over here. Like somebody stuffed schmutz and homeless people around here. So this would be a good place to detect in here. But it's kind of steep going down there. But it'd be a good place to run a detector, and also through the water too. Because these waters rage during floods, but of course gold being heavy would kind of sink to the bottom. So yeah, pretty cool. All right. So Bobby thinks you can actually walk across the river here, but I think it's like 5 or 6, 8 feet deep out there. So all right, a lot of garbage and stuff here, but yeah. All right, pretty cool. Well, we'll see if the Missies had any success now. All right, so we decided today to, well, make your way that way, Jen, towards there where we had some success today. We're going to just finish up the hunt today. Let Jen run the detector for a little bit here. And we're going to work over where we had some other success. So. Another son of a bitch modern. You guys haven't detected till you've detected in the middle of the Redwood Cathedral here with schmutz on the ground and everything. So, well, we're about ready to call it. Huh? Head back to town. You know, we started hot with that 1919S, and I thought we had a honey hole, and then we ran into another guy that came out. Chester, the electrician, came out and said that he had found 2 rings back here, but we also found a Wheatie, a 1944. So we're going to head back. We'll do a wrap-up vid and show you Jen's got a bulging pocket of treasures there.
Yeah.
We'll see you back there. Okay, guys, you know, one of the most fun things is connecting old history with today's when we're out metal detecting. And Jen has really good history, and if you remember, I showed you a map from like the 1930s of the layout when they were selling lots up here in Rio Nido for people to come and build. Well, the name of the development company was called Frolix, and I don't know how well you can see that up on the sign there. But yeah, she's got better eyes than I do. That's Frolix. So this used to be the sales office when they were, yeah, you can see a little better there, when they were selling the lots. So she just mentioned on the way out, she said Frolic. I said, oh my God, I made the connection. That's the people that developed the map that sold the lots for Rio Nido. So how cool, that place was probably slapped up in the 1930s. So probably should have taken a little time to detect that today, but we had a hell of a hunt. So yeah, okay. Well, that sort of closes the loop on today with that proves this whole development came out in the 1930s. But that hotel that you see in the background there, that went up in the late teens or the 1920s. All right, out of here. Hi everybody, it's time for Jen and my wrap-up vid. We have that west sun right in our faces here today, but pardon us. You know, we had a hell of a good time today, didn't we?
out there. Let me get a little closer. I'll be in the shine. Yes, that's not going to work.
That sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, we had a great time today. You're fine, right? We had a wonderful time today, and the reality is, for me, when you're doing metal detecting history, it's looking at the way that things were, finding old maps and stuff, like the Froelich Realty Company that was selling those lots in the 1930s. And then Jen leans over in the car on the way home and says, Froelich, you know, that's a German name up there. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the name of the realty company that was selling lots in the 1930s that people built their cabins on and stuff. And the building is still there, although it's not used anymore. But it's fun to try to figure out where things were then compared to where they are today. We saw the old hotels still standing up there. It's like a dinner theater or something like that, a playhouse. I don't know if people still stay up there. We saw there wasn't a lot left of it. I went across the street in the tunnel under River Road and went over and looked at the river. Well, let me stop blabbing because it was fun. It was a good day. It was a productive day too. We've decided, since with copper being expensive, and this looks like a nice copper ground rod here that we found in there, we're going to start saving copper. This goes a good 2 pounds or so, so that's good. Another interesting thing we found was, at first we were kind of stymied, and I was joking with Jen, since it looked like sort of a Swiss chalet, Swiss-German kind of place. Maybe they have German games where they take these heavy metal balls that weigh about 3 pounds each, and they play like dodgeball with them, throw them as hard as you can at each other to help with agility development and all that, to jump out of the way. And Jen's like, the Germans are tough, but they're not that.
You get hit with that mofo.
You get hit with this, you're going to have a dented head. So we finally figured out this is probably a bocce ball marker. In other words, you would roll this out first and then take your red or your blue balls, depending on what color you're rolling out there, and, you know, play bocce. So we figured that's what that is. A very, very cool find. Jen figures, I dug this thing up, she figures it's some kind of ring or something that got a little schmutzed up when a mower or something ran over it. I'm not quite sure, although she sees it sort of has some serpentine sort of, you know, like she calls it a snake skin on there. We got a key. We got 4 clads. We got a ton of 4 quarters. We got a ton of pennies. And they get awful chewed up. It's almost, the new money's almost an embarrassment, isn't it, Jen? I mean, when you look, you were talking about, you know, when you look, if that stuff hits the ground and it just starts disintegrating within months.
We pulled out a shield one. Yeah, this is a shield one.
Yeah, one of the modern shield ones.
And it almost looks worse than an old one that's...
Yeah, and you look at the 1944 that we pulled up.
And it's still in really great shape.
And it still looks good. You know, it's in awesome shape. It's when the money really, really was made well, and it was very symbolic of a strong country. And this is 1944. So this is kind of disappointing whenever we go out on a dig. And of course we have got our 5 or 6 dimes and a nickel. The real star today, and of course you saw me jumping around when we were out there metal detecting, was the 1919. And at first I thought it was an S because it had a little bit of schmutz on the back of it where the mint mark is. And Bree, if you're watching this down in Australia, an S on the coin would signify the San Francisco mint, and a D would signify what?
Denver.
D for Denver, and P usually wouldn't be on the coin. It wouldn't have a mint mark. The silent mint to Philadelphia. Yeah. So this came from the silent mint, actually, the Philadelphia mint. A little bit of a bummer, but still a beautiful coin, and it got me awful excited early on in the hunt. I thought, wow, you know, we're going to be popping silvers out all day long.
95 years old.
Yeah, but it turned out,
I mean, it might not be valuable.
Oh, it's valuable.
In the money sense.
It's worth $5 or $6, that little coin. So
I mean, the sentimental value that it's already 95 years old.
yeah, so it was a lot of fun. You know, we thought we'd be popping them out all day, but we weren't. You know, when we were out there metal detecting, Chester, the electrician, came out and he's like, "Oh yeah, I metal detected over there and I found 2 rings and stuff." So we know it was another site that was probably hit pretty hard. But the point is, no matter how hard you think a site was hit, a site always has something to yield up. There were tens of thousands of people and hundreds of thousands and probably over 1 million people in total over 70 years that used that Rio Nido resort. And all those people drop crap and misplace things all the time. And people will be picking stuff out of there long after we're gone. We're going to be back at Rio Nido. Probably Bobby and I will take the riverside there because it's a little steep. And I don't think Jen wants to take a header in the river.
I'm not interested in breaking my
Not
neck
interested in that.
no.
So
Not worth it.
we'll sign off. We had a beautiful day under the pines in a really spectacular and cool looking place. History matched up really well with today's, the way it looks today. And there's nothing better than metal detecting history. Thanks so much for being along.